Welcome everyone for the Game 6 World Chess Championship Singapore recap. It saw an intense draw as Dingler in London system put earlier pressure on Gukesh. Actually, Dingleren employed the same London system in round 6 last year World Championship against again Nepomniachtchi. He scored a beautiful important victory which turns around the championship. So here we move on to the game. Ding opens 1d4, knight f6 by Gugesh, bishop f4, d5, e3, e6, knight f3, c5, c3, bishop d6. This is one of the best way to approach the London system. So here Ding moves bishop b5 check, knight c6, bishop takes c6, b takes c6, bishop takes d6, queen takes d6, queen a4, a very nice positional approach. Short castle, queen a3. You may see the dark squares may weaken from the move. Queen a3 attacks the c5 pawn, put pressure on the pin. So black played knight e4, nfd2. The idea is to remove the defender of c5. So after knight of d2, Gugesh played e5. Here, if Ding played d takes e5, it seems a slight error because of after queen takes e5, knight takes e4, queen takes e4, short castle, queen g6, which creates some attack over the king side of because of bishop h3, so wins the exchange. So after knight takes e4, Gugesh played this d cross e4, queen takes c5. Here Gugesh is pawn down, and here if he takes queen takes e5, then it's advantage for white because of d takes e5, bishop a6, b3 with an idea of c4, and if black plays f5, then c4, rook a, knight c3, which gives some advantage for white because of the weak pawns a7, c6, and also the e5 pawn. And this is positionally better for white. So after queen g6, Ding played this knight d2 move. Okay, even instead of knight d2, if white castle on the king side, this is a mistake. You can pause the video and find the punishment for this castle. Very good if you found the move bishop h3, g3, bishop takes f1, king takes f1. Here already black wins an exchange, and this is better for black. So instead of knight d2, if white plays g3, this is also seems bad because of bishop a6, which controls large amount of light squares, and this becomes dangerous after bishop d3 in the future. So Ding played this knight d2. He give his pawn back. Queen takes g2. Queen set castle by Ding. Here Ding gave away his second pawn. Not second pawn. Pawn is now up for Gugesh after b takes e5. Rook b8 by Gugesh, putting pressure over the semi-open file. If knight takes e4, it's a blunder. You may see the punishment queen takes b2 is the punishment. S- Checkmates the white king. So Ding played this knight c4 move, which supports the b2 pawn. And after bishop e6 to remove the defender of b2, and here being forced to play rook d2, controlling the second rank, queen f3 by Gukesh, and rook e1 supports the e3 pawn because after bishop takes e4, the e3 pawn is unsupported. So rook e1 is the only way to protect the e3 pawn. So after bishop takes e4, this is a nice decision by Gukesh to exchange the very important knight for the bishop because it controls some important squares in the black camp when it move on to b6. So it is forced to take the knight after queen takes e4, queen f5. Here Ding spent 42 minutes on this queen takes c6 move, carefully considering the impact of removing the c6 pawn, which created a semi-open queenside file. This file could give Gugesh chances to attack on the side where Ding's king was positioned. So here Gugesh took the e5 pawn, queen d5. Here Ding offered a queen trade because it gives slightly favorable ending for him. Gugesh refuses and he played queen e7, again queen d6, offering an queen exchange, queen e5, queen d5, queen e7, again queen d6. Ding repeats the move and offer a draw after queen d4. Here, Gugesh took a bold decision and he played queen h5, ref- declining the draw offer, or ed1, g6, clearing the back rank issues. So after queen e5, Gugesh played rook b8, queen g3, again offering an queen exchange. Gugesh declined that and he played queen h5, queen f4, queen a5, attacking the a2 pawn. So a3 by Ding, queen b5 with an idea to play queen b3 in the future, followed by rook b8 to create attack over the b file. So here Ding played rook d4 with an idea to attack the e pawn, e4 pawn, and also to play rook b4 at some moment after queen b3. So here black played queen e2. Here there are moves like rook takes e4, which seems equal because after rook takes e4, rook takes e4, queen takes e4, rook b8, b4, queen a2, rook d7, queen takes a3, king d2, queen a2, queen c2. Both the sides, the materials are even and the position is equal. There is no improvement in this variation. So here, instead of rook takes e4 in game, Ding played a rook 1 d2, attacks the queen, and here Gukesh played queen f3. Now Gukesh is offering a queen trade, which is favorable for him. So after queen takes f3, if queen takes f3 by Ding, then this is good for black because of e takes f3, e4, g5, which gives strong pawns on the king side, which will be a passer. So this gives a slight advantage for black. So after king c2, after queen f3, Ding declined the queen trade and he played king c2 to improvise the pawn later in the queen side and to move his king from the towards the pawn to protect the pawn. and after queen takes f4, e takes f4, f5 by Gukesh. Although white has a queenside pawn majority, it is difficult to advancing due to the black's strong e pawn, which poses a challenge for Ding. H4 is a good move here because if white plays c4, then this will be a dangerous thing for white because of black super move like g5. After f takes g5, it's a mistake. You can pause the video and find the punishing move. Nothing but if you find the move e3, it's very easy. If you find e3, then it is clearly winning for black because of rook e2, f4, and both the pawns are brushing the rook and on the way for promotion. So after h4 with an idea to control the g5 square, so g5 is not happening no more now. So after e3, so Gugesh here planned to hold the one of the rook. Rook e2 is the only move to block the pawn. Rook e7, king d3, rook fe8, supporting the pawn, h5. So Ding planned to unstructure the kingside pawn structure. G takes h5, rook d5. So Guy's pawns are all are weak, but Ding pawn structure is good, but there is no way to improve the game after h4, rook takes f5, uh, rook d7 check, king c2, king g7, and there is rook g2 check, king h8, rook e2 again, because even though the pawns are weak, it's very hard to continue the game by the Ding because of the rook, which is paralyzed on e2, which cannot improvised because of the e3 pawn. Black e3 pawn is dangerous, will run for promotion. King g7, rook g2 again, king h8, rook e2, king g7, and the match is draw. So both the players accept the draw, and at the end of round 6, both the players are even 3-3. So as the match enters the second rest day, the scores remain tied with the game 7 set to resume the action on Tuesday. Stay tuned. Bye.